Welcome, gentlemen. This is Michael Fontanella. This is the co-commish, Mike Porcelli, but there may be... I got a feeling there are about 8 other co-commissions running around.
I mean...
The Dino's a whore, I swear to God.
At the draft, I heard Dennis drunkenly say he was the co-commish. I mean...
Dennis had like 18 beers. Whatever. Who cares about that? Dennis is a very angry drunk, but that's beside the point. The point is that this is the video portion of the weekly report. I will still be writing the weekly report every week. This will just be a quick little highlight. Me and Fonto discuss some highs and lows of the league. Some power rankings. We've actually ranked who we think are the top 14 teams in the league from worst to best. That'll be at the end of this one. The previews. This is just a preview show. The weekly reports will be much shorter than this, but we just want to get a quick preview out. This is an hour before the Thursday night opener.
Before Deflategate. Yeah. These are going to be short and sweet. Just laying it out there, letting us know how we feel about your teams every week. Let's get this thing started.
All right. Start with the defending champions, TCP. They talk a lot of shit, but finally...
We hate them.
Finally, TCP has a reason to talk shit. They got a ring. Kohane and Dirk, congratulations. But they were a target during the draft. I think Dino put out a poll that asking whether or not TCP had the worst team in the league. You think it's the worst team in the league?
This team could easily be horrible and could easily be amazing.
That's the one thing I noticed. They've really banked on sleepers this year. Tevin Coleman and Austin Seferian-Jenkins as prime players in their starting lineup.
I don't even know who Seferian-Jenkins is.
I like Dez. I like Jordan Matthews. I think if Andre Johnson could put up big numbers, I think that'll carry TCP. But
if Andre Johnson didn't get 2 knee replacements this offseason, it's going to be a rough season for TCP.
I'm playing this team week 1. Personally, I'm not afraid. Let's see. I think there's a very good opportunity TCP could go from first to worst.
Playoff team?
Right now, this does not look like a playoff team to me. This does not look like a playoff team to me.
I agree. This guy was wheeling and dealing draft night. I mean, he continued to bully Dylan Jacobs into that closet and make him do trades.
We still don't know what happened in there.
We don't want to know what happened in that room.
A lot of people think Jacobs lost his virginity.
There's a lot of speculation. We're not asking questions. Mike made a lot of trades. I think his team is decent. I don't think it's crazy good.
I think he's got a good team.
Why do you like his team?
I like his team because he masterminded the draft, much like you. I mean, he's got Matt Ryan, who's going to be... Matt Ryan's an elite fantasy quarterback, in my opinion. C.J. Anderson's going to be great. Ellington, if he can stay healthy, is a solid fantasy back. Edelman, as a Pats fan, Edelman's good. I don't think he's a stud in fantasy, but he's fine. AJ, then he's got Delaney.
Going to be concussed by week 4 out.
I think Sammy Watkins is not going to have a good year, but we'll see. I think he wants to deal him. I don't think it's a bad team.
It's very difficult to say that Sammy Watkins is going to have a good year when he's got... Who's he got? Curtis Painter throwing him the ball. I mean, it's going to be rough.
Julius Thomas on the bench. We'll see what happens there. But all in all, I think Dino's going to have another solid year, in my opinion.
I think Commish squeaks his wheels and deals his way into the playoffs once again. He is, as much as I hate to say it, he's the gold standard of this league. He makes the playoffs almost every year.
Yeah, that used to be Dennis.
And it kills me to say that.
Thank God Dennis isn't the gold standard anymore.
We'll get to Dennis drunky later. Okay.
Yeah, they probably got stoned while watching Talladega Nights and came up with this name. I can't really criticize. My team name sucks, but, whatever. It's not a bad team. Brady, how can you hate Brady? I mean, best quarterback of all time.
Cheats his way to wins.
Hey, man. We do what we can. I mean, the one thing that pops out about his team to me, Calvin and Demarius, the second best receiving core in the league, in my opinion. The number one, if Calvin can play like Calvin again.
Megatron.
What do you think, Fawn?
I like this team. I think they have the second best receiving corps in the league behind my squad. I think Calvin is due. I didn't draft him because I'm still scared of his injury concerns. Yeah. But I think if Calvin stays healthy, he's going to be, I think, easily top 3 wideout this year.
Here's where I see them starting Danny Woodhead in the flex and Rashad Jennings at running back. I would start Wallace in the flex and put Vereen at running back. That's what I would do. I think they're making a mistake. We'll see.
I don't think this is a playoff team.
He really should change his team name. I'm tired of the really.
And let me just point this out quick. Change your fucking picture. Why is
it
Trent Richards from 2011? I mean,
well, you know what? Loser. All in all, we give Zach a lot of shit. He somehow finds his way to the top of the rankings every year. He's coming off the most dominant season in the history of the league. He got bounced by his brother in the playoffs. The only hole I see in this starting lineup is Isaiah Crowell. There's a lot of optimism around him. We're not gonna say he's bad yet, but it's the only hole that I'll even say hole in his lineup. I think Macklin was a steal. I think he's gonna have a much better season than I originally thought. I have a man crush on Brandon Cooks this year. Forte, a little sour on Forte, but now that Brady's back, Gronk is an absolute game changer. I think Zach is going to be at the top of the rankings once again this year.
Honestly, I don't know. I see what Porch is saying, but Isaiah Crowell should be in the Canadian Football League, and Eric Decker should not be a starting player.
The flex is the flex. He'll make a change.
I agree, and actually, now that I take that back, because Fitzpatrick could get the ball to him.
Jets receivers aren't that bad this year.
It was the best thing that happened to Jets receivers when Geno went down. Geno. I like Fish. Fish can drink like a fish. But we'll get to Derpy and his alcohol in a second.
Derp is a fucking drunk and a half.
So he's got Luck, Murray, Melvin Gordon, V-Jax, Allen Robinson?
Red zone threat.
Jason Witten, who should have retired in 2010.
I like Witten.
John Brown going to be a stud this year.
John Brown's on his bench, right?
John Brown is in his flex right now.
Flex? Ooh!
I like that.
Flex. I like that. Flexing him now.
I think Murray is just going to be horrible this year.
Oh, don't say that to me.
I'm sorry. I think DeMarco Murray is not going to be
it'll be fine.
I mean, he's got his sexy name, DeMarco Murray, right?
Sexy, yeah.
But I feel like I'd rather have Melvin Gordon on my team as my number one.
Listen, I see Fish's team, and I immediately think of Goodman's team from last year.
Yes.
Right now, I look at it, I see DeMarco, I see Andrew Luck, I see no one else that stands out. Fish better pray he doesn't hit the injury bug like Goodman did next year, or else it's going to be Luck and nobody else. And
totally agree.
He can ask Goodman how that feels.
I don't think he's a playoff team.
After the draft, I wasn't afraid. I look at it again. I personally think he has the best 1-2 punch at running back in the league. He's got Lamar Miller and Jeremy Hill, two legit guys that you can look at in your lineup every week and say, I can get double digits out of those guys. Tell me, I dare you to find another team in this league that can say that. Other than that,
Chris Ivory.
We'll see.
Chris Ivory and LaShawn.
I don't think Brandon Marshall's going to have that bad of a year. Keenan Allen, same. This is a much better team than when you first look at it. What do you think, Fine? I know you got some problems with Derp.
We'll get to his off-field issues in a second.
I think Derp's going to have a bit of a comeback here.
We'll get to his off-field issues in a second. But Dennis, I know you like Lamar Miller. I think I'd rather have Daniel Thomas than Lamar Miller. I must have said that a few times.
Isn't he in the CFL now?
Hey, Derp, I will go with you to the AA meetings, okay? I am here for you.
It's a week 1 matchup right there.
Derp and Font. On Sunday, after I wipe the fucking floor with your team, I would like to take you to the AA meeting because you're going to be drinking yourself to death after you get blown out, okay? Be bold in this league.
Words!
Wilson, AP, Abdullah, Jeffrey, Wheaton, Bennett, Garcon. He's got Bryant suspended the first 4 games, which I think could hurt him unless Wheaton picks up the slack. I think he can, Wheaton. Love Pierre Garcon. I think Kirk Cousins is a starter. I think Kirk Cousins is going to pepper Pierre Garcon. I love it. I mean, music to Porch's ears right now. The health of Alshon Jeffrey is scary. But I think he's got studs. I think Wilson, AP, Jeffrey, and the combination of Brian Wheaton are going to get their own. So I like his team.
Yeah, I definitely overhyped Abdullah during the draft, but I think at worst I'm gonna get a solid RB2 out of him. It's just a matter of time. I think his potential is ridiculous, and I think Jeffrey's gonna be my X factor this year. I'm expecting a healthy Alshon Jeffrey to put up top 10 numbers. I think that well rounds my team. I think I can make the playoffs again this year. We'll see.
All right, non-playoff team. Next off, we're going to be talking about Coach Jim McLean, whoever that is. Yeah, Goodman.
Goodman's hired a new coach. He's the Washington Redskins of Guru Nation, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, it's annoying. I mean, I just have to keep Googling all these names. Let's not do that. Let's just stick to Team Goodman again,
just get
please.
A brand like Neps. Why can't everyone be like Neps?
Team Fontanella, fucking patent that shit. So, Coach Jim McLean, I like his squad, coming off a rough season.
Yeah.
Coming off a rough video chat during the draft. I mean,
that was a nightmare.
The kid was falling.
That was a nightmare. And Goodman's got his Rivers, Lacey, Gore, Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Rudolph. It's a well-rounded team. Not too much star power, but I think it's a team.
It's a safe team.
That could do. We'll see. We will see about Goodman's team. But he's coming off a rough year. I've been in Goodman's situation, destroyed by the injury bug last year. I've been where you've been, Goodman. Hopefully, this is your year, because we think it's your year every year, and it never is.
Goodman, I mean, I like Goodman's team. Goodman's team it's a safe team.
It's a safe team. He's got Victor Cruz and Steve Smith Sr. as a contingency plan. He's come prepared this year.
I like Goody's team. Good job, even though you were drafting online. We could barely hear you.
Yeah.
Nice job, Goodman. Playoff team.
Maybe. I love Tony Romo. This league knows my history with Tony Romo. Jamal Charles, done with that fucker. I don't like Jamal Charles ever again. I'm not saying he's gonna have a bad year, but I just don't like him as a human being.
Ouch.
Doug Martin, I think, was a steal. Randall Cobb, Deshaun Jackson, Jimmy Graham, Jordan Cameron. 3 tight ends on the roster. They got Antonio Gates on the bench. That's gonna be interesting.
Taking a page out of Team Font's book, I see. It's very clear at this point I'm not a Dumbo fan.
You aren't a fan of a lot of people in this league.
I like Connor James Gordon. I think Connor James Gordon is a great kid. Hope his arm heals up well. I want to see him pitch in the majors one day. Not a fan. I don't even want to talk about Dumbo, really. But I think Connor James Gordon makes the playoffs this year. I like his squad a lot.
I think he's got a top 5 team.
I think when you have Jamal Charles stays healthy, Randall Cobb is the guy now in Green Bay. Yes. I like his team.
If he can stay healthy.
Connor James Gordon makes playoffs this year. I mean, you think Mark Hamill, or you think playoffs? Playoffs.
He's so consistent. He really is.
It's not sexy but consistent.
And that's the weird part. We've made so many videos over the years, and how many times have we forgotten to include Mark, then have to do the whole thing over again?
Afterthought. I mean,
nothing
against him.
He flies under the radar every year. Last year he didn't, and he still managed to make the playoffs. He has a very good team. I think he has a very well-rounded team. It's a little low in my power rankings, but I hate doing that because I look at his team and it's so sexy. His skill position players are so sexy. You move up to it, it's got an ass on it. You want to ask it on a date. It's got a great body.
All right,
then you look up, you're eyeing it down. No. Antonio Brown, Golden Tate, Forsett Hyde. Then you look up to the face. You get the quarterback. It's like, damn. Cam Newton?
His team's a butterface.
I hate Cam.
His team's a butterface.
I hate everything about Cam Newton. I've never liked Cam Newton. Go away!
All right. Clearly not a Cam Newton fan.
No!
Well, he does have the Cam to Greg Olsen working this year. Even though Kelvin Benjamin's out, he might get double-teamed a shitload. We'll see what happens with his team. I think his team's solely based on if Carlos Hyde can become what we all think he can become, which is, I would think, a top 10 running back this year. I would say, definitely.
Cam Newton!
All right, that's it.
Interesting story about Dan Koster. greatest rookie year in the history of Guru Nation. Comes in like a bat out of hell, wins all these awards, first seed in the playoffs. Koster was on a roll. Next season, teams up with Reed. Does not do that well. Now, he's found a new partner in Kevin Sinitar. Interesting note about Kevin Sinitar. The interesting thing about this kid to me is that I've met a lot of people in my day, and I've never met a human being that screams sidekick more than this guy. It's the perfect combination for Mamba. What do you think?
I don't understand Mamba's logic behind this because
he needs a yes man. He needs a yes man.
I believe that Daniel Koster is better off flying solo. Over the past few years, he's acquired a few illnesses. There's a reason that Ben Hoffman is no longer co-owning with Kevin Sinitar. I'll leave it as that.
I think it's a shit team. But not after week 2. I think have a lot invested in Arian Foster and Le'Veon Bell. They need to survive that period without them, because if they don't, it's going to be every game's going to matter a lot.
So
Foster and Bell is the best 1-2 punch when they are on the field.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be a very interesting first half of the season for this team.
Bradford's going to be great quarterback for the first 2 weeks, and before he's out for the season, blows out his knee. So I mean, great. Don't
take offense to this, but you got to look at it realistically. Right now, White Mamba sucks. After week 2, it's not going to be that bad. We will see.
Got to start cutting dead weight. Begins with the cancer.
Week 12 of the 2013 season. That was the last victory that Mike Fontanella had in fantasy. Coincidentally, I think that win came against Hassett, who would be facing week 1. But Mike Fontanella, it happened. A lot of people go through their lives saying, no one's ever going to go 0-13. No one's ever going to go 0-13 in fantasy football. It's a joke. It can never happen.
Can't happen. No way it can happen.
It did.
It happens. What do you want me to say?
Fuck you! I think he's bounced back. He masterminded the draft. 3 great early picks. I don't know about Shady. I really don't know about Shady, but he's got the best 1-2 puncher receiver in the league. Odell Beckham Jr., Julio Jones, Travis Kelce, Chris Ivory's going to be solid. Stafford. I think Fonty's going to have a comeback year. We'll see what happens.
It was embarrassing last year.
Oh, God.
But dare I say Pursuit 2015? Dare I say it? I'm looking to make the playoffs and win a first round this year. Quarterback Big Ben, Marshawn, TJ Yeldon, I don't even know who that is. T.Y. Emmanuel. I mean, his receivers are sick. Then he's got guys like Heath Miller, Nelson Aguilar, who I love. I'm going to go for a second. Nelson Aguilar, there's something about that name that just screams top 5 receiver this year.
I love the smiles.
Nelson Aguilar is saying something to me in his pictures right now. And I, quote me right now, okay? I might have been wrong with Dwayne Bowe. Nelson Aguilar, top 5 wideout this year. Dylan Jacobs grew like a fucking tree this offseason.
That kid's 6'5", 500 pounds.
That kid is a starting power forward in the NBA, if you want to get picky. Aaron Rodgers, love Aaron Rodgers. Jonathan Stewart's the guy now in Carolina. I like him as well. Joseph Randle.
Shit.
It's sad when I say the best player on his team outside of Aaron Rodgers is Steven Gostkowski.
Okay. Best kicker in the league.
I mean, Porch, great job. You got a great kicker.
Absolutely.
And a great quarterback. Okay, not a playoff team. You gotta stick up for yourself next draft, please.
You know, when I was looking at Dylan's team, I noticed something, and I think I know where he went wrong. Obviously, Jordy Nelson getting hurt is huge. That's tough. But this is where I think he could have survived the Jordy Nelson injury. I looked at his draft, and I thought to myself, with all of the talent that's in the first round, and he had a midway pick, you can't go quarterback, even if it's Aaron Rodgers. Well, because now he has Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson 1-2. He's lost Jordy. He's got nothing after that.
I agree.
If he drafted, say, I'll just say a top
Jameis
10,
Winston.
a top 10 skill position player. He would have that person and say a Matt Ryan or a Tony Romo later in the draft. Dylan gambled with Aaron Rodgers going first. Now he's got to lay in bed with his decision. I hope you're proud of yourself, Jacobs.
Jacobs is going to cry himself to sleep in a corner every Sunday.
Thanks for staying. I know this was a little longer than we wanted it to be, but now we're just going to introduce the newest part of the weekly report, the power rankings, every week. Well, actually, we're going to start week 4 to bring back the power rankings. We'll go back to this. This is me and Font's opinion on who the top 14 teams are in the league, who's going up, who's going down. Let's begin with our preseason rankings. Remember, this is before the Thursday's game, so here we go. All right, here we go. Starting number 14 to number 10. Good luck next year, sports. What do you think, Font? Anything pop out at you here?
I think you can never count Mamba out. He's ranked low, but when you got a guru like that, even though you're battling cancer, it's gonna be
Foster and Bell will be interesting.
Fighting cancer, we're Mamba strong.
Number 10 to number 6. Font, you're at number 6.
I am picked as a playoff team. I think that's a very fair judgment. I've done my duties in the bottom of the shit part of the league. I've hung out at the bottom of the league, and it's time for the rise again.
And I'll just say again,
rebirth.
Mark, I know you're watching this, and you're telling yourself, Porch, what the fuck? This is so typical of you, putting yourself ahead of all these other teams. You have a very good team. I just hate Cam Newton. I'm sorry. I love your team. I just hate Cam.
Starting off 5-1, we have Connor James Gordon, Neps at 4, Twan, Kamish at 2, and Zach Didino as your number 1 squad.
Zach, man. Zach at the top of the rankings again. I hate to say it, but I think he's got the best team in the league. I really do. Gronk is such a game changer. That's it, guys. Thanks for joining us. Again, I apologize for this video being a tad too long. It's not going to be like this. This is the preview. A lot of stuff we had to cut in. It's not going to be like this every week. We promise. It's going to be fun. If any of you guys want to get involved, make a phone call, get an interview, give us a call. We'd love to have you on. It's going to be an interesting season. Fun. Anything to say?
Just looking forward to a great season, boys. Let's keep it clean. Let's have a nice, fun season. Let's go get them. Team Font. Let's go, baby.
Can't wait.
Good luck, boys. See you next week.